Hi guys, JT here. January's Humble Monthly has dropped, and the big question is, are these games actually worth your time? I'm breaking down everything in this month's Humble Monthly, so you know exactly what you're getting before you buy. If you decide to pick it up, the links below will get you straight to the bundle and also help support the channel. Your support seriously means everything, and I can't thank you enough. But first, a word from our sponsor, JT After Dark. You've read the threads. You've seen the warnings, but you haven't heard them like this. I'm JT. I take the internet's most terrifying stories and give them a voice. From Reddit's deepest archives to the legends that haunt the web, I bring the horror to life. Join me on JT After Dark. Subscribe now and let's see what's hiding in the shadows. Anyway, let's get into this. And number 1, the featured game of this month, Sonic Frontiers, an ambitious evolution for the franchise, introducing open zone platforming that blends high-speed exploration with combat. You're stranded on the mysterious Starfall Islands, 5 massive landmasses filled with ancient ruins, robotic hordes, and hidden secrets. Although this new direction has been met with significant praise from the community, your experience will likely be a mix of high-velocity thrills and technical frustrations. You'll find the core movement incredibly satisfying once you adjust the physics settings. Running through forests and deserts to collect memory tokens or fishing with Big the Cat offers a sense of freedom previously unseen in 3D Sonic titles. The soundtrack is one of its highlights, and the cinematic Titan bosses, set to high-energy rock, provide some of the most memorable moments in the series. However, you must be prepared for significant technical flaws. The game suffers from severe object pop-in, where platforms only appear when you're standing nearly on top of them. While the first 2 islands are well designed, the third, Chaos Island, is often criticized for frustrating 2D forced perspective transitions and cluttered layouts. Additionally, the cyberspace levels recycle older assets and physics, which may feel jarring compared to the open zones. The combat system introduces a skill tree and the side loop ability, but you might find the parry mechanic makes encounters too easy. If you can overlook the experimental rough edges and the repetitive nature of the endgame towers, you'll discover a bold new direction for the blue blur. It is a highly recommended experience for fans, though best enjoyed when purchased in a bundle. And number 2 we have Tomb Raider 4-6 Remastered, a lovingly restored trilogy that lets you relive or discover 3 classic Lara Croft adventures: The Last Revelation, Chronicles, and The Angel of Darkness. This remaster by Aspyr brings high-res textures, updated character models, and improved lighting to these late 90s and early 2000s staples, breathing new life into the dusty tombs, perilous catacombs, and atmospheric European streets you once explored or fell into. The ability to toggle between modern and original visuals at a press of a key is a nostalgic treat. You can instantly compare how far games have come while still enjoying the core gameplay that defined the genre. These games retain their tank-style controls, which can feel awkward by today's standards. But if you're patient, you'll find a rewarding, methodical gameplay loop filled with precision platforming, trap dodging, and clever puzzle solving. Each title has its own charm. The Last Revelation sends you through Egypt's mysterious ruins with classic Tomb Raider vibes. Chronicles shifts gears, with a variety of levels told as flashbacks, offering different playstyles. The Angel of Darkness, now with restored content and cut dialogue, leans into a darker, more narrative-driven approach with RPG-like mechanics and a playable second character. The remastered audio, from moody soundtracks to satisfying environmental effects, completes the package. If you love classic puzzle adventuring and want a glimpse into Lara's evolution, this trilogy is a polished time capsule worth opening. And number 3 we have Hunt Showdown 1896, an unforgiving extraction shooter where you hunt monsters and players in a corrupted 19th century world. The gameplay revolves around a high-stakes loop: track clues to locate a boss, banish it, and extract the bounty while competing teams hunt you down. Movement is tactical and slow. Since every action creates sound, from snapping twigs to startled cows, audio is your greatest weapon and your biggest threat. You must use binaural sound to pinpoint enemies through walls or across marshes. Gunplay is brutal. Period-accurate single-shot firearms mean every missed bullet leaves you vulnerable. If your hunter dies, they are gone forever, taking their traits and gear with them. While immersive, you face a steep learning curve and recent controversial updates. Veterans often dominate newcomers, and the community has criticized predatory monetization. You must now pay additional money in blood bonds for time-gated content and even spend currency to display weapon skill stats on your profile. Technical issues like object pop-in, server latency, and VPN-based cheating further mar the experience. Despite these drawbacks, the atmosphere and tension are unparalleled. Success requires patience and mastery of sound traps. If you can ignore the aggressive monetization and handle the permanent loss of characters, you'll find a rewarding, gritty experience that no other shooter replicates. It is best enjoyed in a squad, where communication and stealth can overcome the game's punishing difficulty. And number 4 we have Etrian Odyssey II HD, a polished remaster of the classic dungeon crawler, serving as a direct sequel that refines its predecessor's formula. Instead of descending into the earth, you head into the Yggdrasil labyrinth, tunneling ever upward toward a mysterious floating castle. Your goal is to navigate a complex vertical maze to find a mythical grail, a straightforward premise that allows the deep gameplay mechanics to take center stage. You'll find that this version is more than just a reversal of staircases. The dungeons feel alive, featuring nuanced labyrinthian pathways that replace the long straight corridors of the first game, with disorienting loops and surprising dead ends. While exploring, you'll encounter saving throw moments, random events where you interact with strange objects or fruit. These can grant healing bumps or punish your party, often targeting your essential medic. The HD version introduces significant quality of life updates, including crisp music and improved sprite work. You have access to 12 classes from the start, including the new Gunner and War Magus, alongside the recruitable Beast class. This allows for highly specialized party configurations, though you must balance your funds carefully as equipment costs are high and loot rewards are lean. While the plot is more grounded and predictable than the first title, the improved signposting and interactions with rival guilds keep the campaign flowing naturally. Whether you're a veteran or a newcomer starting on Picnic difficulty, you'll find a smoother, more engaging experience that perfects the series' signature mapping and exploration. And number 5 we have Nice Day for Fishing, a pixel art adventure based on the antics of the comedy group Viva la Dirt League. You play as Balin, an NPC in the MMORPG world of Azerim, who unexpectedly becomes a hero when a mysterious energy strands the world's actual champions. Despite his new role, Balin remains bound by his coding, communicating only through his signature NPC phrases as he rebuilt the town of Honeywood and battled a great evil. Everything in this game, from gathering boat supplies to defeating massive bosses, is accomplished through fishing. You'll cast lines into water to treat enemies like fish, using a novel combat system that requires rhythmic tapping to hook catches and time parries to defend against tugs. As you level up, you can customize Balin with enchanted accessories, specialized rods, and ridiculous hats that provide powerful passive effects. The presentation is a high point, featuring detailed 2D pixel art and a dynamic Drunk Renaissance Fair soundtrack. However, you must be prepared for a relentless gameplay loop. Since almost every quest involves fetching items or fighting via fishing, the experience can feel repetitive if you aren't a diehard fan of the source material. While the quippy deadpan writing captures the charm of the epic NPC man sketches, much of the humor relies on text rather than voice acting. If you appreciate a polished quirky grind and don't mind a singular focus on angling, you'll find this a charming, if monotonous, love letter to RPG tropes. And number 4 we have Metal Slug Tactics, a grid-based tactics game that transforms the classic run-and-gun series into a strategic turn-based challenge without losing its chaotic arcade heart. You step into a world where a global terrorist threat looms, and familiar heroes like Marco and Eri deliver the explosive personality you expect. The story is light, but the real focus is the tactical combat, which mixes genre staples with clever twists, most notably follow-up attacks that reward smart positioning and a movement system that reduces incoming damage when you sprint to your maximum range. It feels unusual at first, but once you understand how these systems interact, you start playing with real purpose. Each encounter becomes a careful balance of ammo management, cover, and adrenaline-fueled abilities. You rely on bouncing grenades, ricocheting bullets, and tactical pushes to control the battlefield, though these skills only shine once you've leveled them up. The roguelike structure keeps you experimenting, selecting 3 heroes, choosing mission routes, tackling bosses, and grabbing mods or upgrades that can make or break a run. With no permadeath and plenty of characters to unlock, there's always another chance to refine your approach. What truly stands out is the presentation. The gorgeous nostalgic pixel art and familiar audio cues feel like a love letter to longtime fans. Hearing "Mission Start" again is a genuine thrill. But the game's biggest strength is also its biggest flaw. It offers loads of depth but explains almost none of it. The learning curve is steep, the mechanics overwhelming, and early hours can feel confusing. Still, if you enjoy deep replayable tactics and don't mind figuring things out yourself, you'll find a lot to love here. At number 7 we have Settlement Survival, a survival city builder where you lead a group of survivors in a search of a new home, managing everything from shelter and food supply to education and trade. You must manipulate the landscape, recruit mayors, and navigate a randomly generated map while protecting your citizens from environmental disasters like the bubonic plague. The game is often described as an expanded version of Banished, offering deeper production chains and a cleaner UI. You'll find a robust tech tree that allows you to choose developmental routes in mining, agriculture, or logistics. Trading is a central mechanic. Once mastered, it allows you to bypass resource scarcity and customize your town with rare blueprints. However, your experience may be hampered by significant friction. Critics note that the tech tree is poorly explained, with complex dependencies that can make progression feel like a chore. You might face frustrating resource imbalances, where you either have far too much or far too little of a specific supply. Furthermore, some users warn that development has stalled, leaving behind unrememberable key maps and vague tutorials that force you to learn through failure rather than instruction. Despite these abandonware concerns, the game remains highly addictive, often causing hours to disappear in what players call a just one more building loop. If you enjoy the challenge of balancing survival with colony management and don't mind some unpolished edges, this is a satisfying, relaxing experience, especially on peaceful mode. It is best purchased in a bundle to account for its current development status. At number 8 we have Wizard of Legend II, a roguelike sequel that shifts from the original's pixel art to a 3D isometric aesthetic heavily inspired by Hades. You're summoned to compete in the Wizard of Legend trials, venturing through 4 distinct biomes: forest, desert, sky citadel, and chaos, to conquer elemental wizards and monstrous beasts. While the game features gorgeous artwork and voice acting, it often feels like a wizard of mediocrity that mimics the look of modern masterpieces without capturing their narrative depth. Combat remains the highlight, offering over 75 arcana skills across 5 elements. You can mix and match fire, earth, air, lightning, and water to create unique builds, though animations are slightly slower than the first game. You'll enjoy the variety of spells, but the characters you meet, such as Madame Molin and Surgic, ultimately serves as glorified shopkeepers rather than meaningful pillars of a story. A significant flaw lies in the multiplayer content. You can play with up to 3 friends, but there's no matchmaking, no public lobbies, and no crossplay. Furthermore, co-op loot is not instanced. If you grab a relic from a chest, your friends get nothing. This lack of balance, combined with repetitive boss encounters that never change between runs, makes the progression feel unsatisfying. You may find a few hours of fun experimenting with elemental builds, but the bare-bones customization and lackluster social features mean you likely won't feel compelled to see the trials through to the end. And that's all for this month's Humble Monthly. This month's Humble Monthly is an absolute banger of a start to the year. Leading with Sonic Frontiers and the Tomb Raider 4-6 remasters offers huge value, especially if you're looking for that high-speed open zone fix or some classic nostalgia. Throwing in Etrian Odyssey II HD and Metal Slug Tactics makes it a must-buy for JRPG and strategy fans. Even with the Hades-like vibes of Wizard of Legend 2, this bundle is a total steal for $12. Don't sleep on it. In any case, I hope you enjoyed today's video. If this video was helpful, feel free to leave a like and subscribe, and maybe consider buying the channel a coffee. From the bottom of my heart, thank you for watching, and I'll see you guys in the next video. And remember to subscribe to JT After Dark.